All right, House of Payne fans, a little late on this one, but better late than never, right? This video is going to be covering my thoughts on last week's episode 7 and 8, Love and Hate, and From Heart to Heart. So go ahead and like the video. Let's try to get to 40 likes if possible. Also hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way you can help me reach 1 million subscribers. And when you click the bell, select all. That way you're notified whenever I post new content. And finally, you can follow me on my various social media platforms. Links to all those description. Yeah, it's a lot of links down there now that I think about it. Go down to the description box. Links to all my social media, all down there. Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook group, Facebook pages, all that good stuff. Even my eBay store. So go for it. I was live tweeting last week. If I remember, wait, did I live stream? I forgot. I know I did a freaking yeah, I did live stream. Yeah, I watched them live and I tweeted, and I was so frustrated at these episodes. Love and Hate. Okay. Love and Hate synopsis. Miranda is having second thoughts about her and Calvin's divorce, which leads to them running into each other. 1 out of 10. I only give it a 1 out of 10. You know, matter of fact, wait, hang on. The episode started off Miranda and Ella talking exactly how I predicted, talking in circles. They prayed off screen too during a commercial break. I'm like, well, dang, this could have gotten the episode off to a good start to have Ella giving like a very, very, God inspiring prayer. That would have been a great way to start things. But no, we just get them talking in circles, and then Miranda leaves, and then we get, oh God, now I remember why I hated these episodes. During episode 7, we got more fart and constipation jokes. Well, technically in both episodes. I felt like these 2 episodes were supposed to be the saving grace of the series. Like, oh my God, Calvin and Miranda finally back together. Not necessarily together in terms of a relationship, but the first time we're seeing them on screen together since the conclusion of season 8. So we're talking about something over 8 years in the making, and what a dud. In episode 7, Calvin and Miranda briefly see each other. Calvin leaves. They only have like 15 seconds together. And what does he say? Like, hey, and then he just leaves and goes home. And that's the end of that. And then I recorded a video before this one about Malik Sass and how he's so annoying now and such a douche instead of a likable character with some funny one-liners who gets into mischief. No, he's just like, dude, shut the hell up, man. You're not even funny. So, okay. We spent more time in both of these episodes. I feel like in episode 7, we had all these unnecessary fart jokes. And then at the very end, we get Curtis going on about Ella either being constipated or taking a long time on the toilet, which leads into episode 8. I felt like we had more jokes and dialogue about bowel movement than useful scenes and dialogue about Miranda and Calvin. Like in episode 7, didn't we have that long unnecessary scene where Miranda goes over to Janine and CJ's and it's just Jasmine and Malik? It was great to see those two together again. I will say that was phenomenal. But the scene itself was just way too dragged out. And like I said before, Malik is running his mouth to the point where even Jasmine's the one that has to tell him to shut up and give it a rest. And then Miranda leaves and okay, so we got, I feel like I'm blending these episodes together, but not much happened. Not much happened. But we get to episode 8 where Miranda takes Calvin to court for more child support. CJ has had it with Lisa, and CJ talks to Ella about how Janine and Jasmine just left to go to Janine's mother's house, which makes no sense to just up and leave because they don't want to deal with the drama. So Janine, you're just going to leave your husband with a pregnant stripper, okay? And your 2 youngest children. Yeah, that makes sense. And Calvin and Miranda have mixed feelings about their divorce. The only good scene, well, technically there were 2 good scenes in this episode. I liked the idea Ella had where she wanted to, she suggested to CJ that have Malik and Lisa watch the twins for a while just to give them a taste of what childhood and parenting is really going to be like. And then also the last, and this is why this was like the best scene of the series so far. The last few minutes where Ella had Miranda come over to the the condo to talk with Calvin. No laugh track. It definitely felt emotional. The acting was on point. Why the hell do we not have more scenes like this in House of Payne? I'm not saying the show has to be completely dramatic. The first 8 seasons weren't like that at all. But this scene was a reminder that this is what House of Payne is or was and how it's supposed to be now. Just the only difference is the characters are older, doing bigger problems than they originally had. If Tyler wrote more scenes like this, I wouldn't be having these conversations and ranting about how bad the show is. But I really liked the scene. It almost seemed like they were making a truce, but at the end of the day, Miranda's the one who just made the first move, and Calvin, oh, you miss me, and yada yada. But overall, this was my favorite scene. But I got more bad. Okay, so Calvin is mad because Ella is talking with Miranda behind his back, and it's like, you're supposed to be on my side. And then he doesn't really, I went back and watched the scene. He didn't really slam the door. And look, growing up in a black family, I know that even the slightest sign of you closing a door harder than normal can lead to an ass whooping. I'm no stranger to that. But to have Ella, just her whole thing being these entire 2 episodes is Ella's going to rush over to CJ's because she's upset about Calvin. And because you just go back and like Ella is upset about Calvin slamming the door, but she's banging on CJ's door like it's the freaking police. And CJ like, who the hell is it? It's like, oh, Miss Ella. I mean, Auntie Ella. Yeah, I know, but no wonder he's mad because like Ella was just banging on the door like she ain't got no respect for that house. And then she goes over to Calvin's condo and is like, you're going to come back home and close your door. Like, sit down. And then she's basically going to go in on Calvin about how he wasn't living up to okay, I did like the line about how you weren't the man that Miranda saw, like you didn't live up to the potential Miranda saw in you. I'm conflicted about that line because I do see the point, but at the same time, like, okay, if I were married or in a relationship and I cheated and I was the scum, and then I was the one that was telling my people, when I say people, I mean family and friends, yo, don't associate, don't talk to that girl anymore. I would be mad if I got called out, but at the same time, I'd appreciate it because I would have real people in my corner telling me when I'm the one that effed up. But with Calvin and Miranda, both sides were guilty. So it's really with Calvin. Then again, we haven't seen him talk that much about Miranda up until these episodes, but I don't really see why Ella's chewing him out, because if nothing else, he isn't complaining about the marriage itself. He's just complaining about how he's constantly being dragged to court for more money, even though he makes far less than Miranda. And Miranda's the one who just hasn't talked to him. I mean, she did try, but obviously trying to stick around and wait for Calvin is like, oh, what's Calvin coming over here? None of your business. I don't think trying to talk to your soon-to-be ex-husband right after you dragged him to court again on the same day is a good idea. So I can see why Calvin didn't want to talk to Miranda at that given time. So I really do think that Ella was kind of really in the wrong here. But then again, I'm not saying she should disassociate with Miranda because, again, that is the mother of her grandchild. But at the same time, like Janine, she was just trying to maintain the peace and give some solid advice instead of just having Miranda vent about Calvin. So due to the last several minutes alone, I'll give this episode a 6 out of 10 just because the last scene truly demonstrated that Tyler Perry is capable of writing this show well like he used to, but for whatever reason just decides to do it all himself and it leads to crap. So with that being said, yeah, not the best episodes, but just the one scene at the end really made the watch worth it. But at the same time, it's like I tweeted out, I tweeted it out, and I said this in a video, but I'm never actively watching this show live again. Like, if I'm doing nothing and I just so happen to flip by BET, I might watch, but I'm never like, oh, okay, I'm going to set up everything on it. No, because it's definitely not worth it. From the dragged out scenes and the endless commercials, I'm probably just going to stick with my wait for it to be up on YouTube, watch it at double speed, and then be done within 20 minutes instead of wasting an hour. Yeah, 20 minutes, because each episode is about 21 minutes. Double the speed, I could watch them in 10. And due to the dragged out scenes, I don't miss any dialogue. So yeah, I'd rather take less than 30 minutes to do that than to waste an hour of my time. So let me know your thoughts on these episodes in the comment section below. And if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.